Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Well, as many people predicted and expected, Aston Villa beat Manchester United 2-1 down at Villa Park. But what couldn't have been expected is on the day the best team actually lost. Yes, Manchester United were a far better side than Aston Villa. We played well, we were a team, Amorim got the tactics right, it's just that we could not put the ball in the net after the chances we created. And Aston Villa, who offered nothing towards Le Mans' goal that can be considered a threat apart from the 2 goals from Rodgers. So Amorim and United and the fans must feel frustrated that we couldn't see the game off. We had chance after chance, but we couldn't take them. And at the beginning of the game, Amorim had a problem. He had 6 players missing through various reasons: injuries to Maguire and Elite, suspension to Casemiro, and then, of course, losing 3 players to the African Cup of Nations in Ahmad, Bryan Mbeumo and Mazraoui. And then the surprise news was that Mainu, who we thought was going to replace Casemiro, was called injured the day before in training. So after all the social media hype, he wasn't even in the squad. And on the bench was a lot of academy players. So the strength in depth wasn't there for United, but we still performed well. And in the first half, we were a goal down, and then suddenly Kuna brought us back just before half-time to 1-1. But the bad news, of course, was that we lost Captain Bruno with what looks like a hamstring injury. So he was replaced in the second half by Martinez, who strolled through midfield for the second half like he'd been there forever. Great player, great yesterday. But, of course, at the end of the day, we didn't put away the chances. Kuna was guilty of missing a header. Sesko was through a couple of times like he was against Spurs and didn't really keep his head. So the chances were there. And, of course, if we'd have had Mbeumo and Ahmad in the side, I honestly believe we would have won that match. But they weren't, and there's a lot of ifs and buts. But in the end of the day, we've left Villa Park with no points, which is disappointing because, I say, it's frustrating. We should have got more from the game. But I think Amorim can take heart from what the players showed him. They did battle hard. They went into the match with an attitude of, we're going to win this. And unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way through 2 great strikes by Rodgers. But that was the only thing that separated the sides. So next up, Newcastle at home on Boxing Day, my birthday. But if we can show the same spirit that we showed at Villa Park, I think we'll be okay. I think the fight was there, the spirit was there, the heart was there, the passion was there. It's just that we need the ball putting in the net. It's as simple as that. And that's what football's all about. You can be the best team every match, but if you're not scoring enough goals, that's the problem. So let's look at the player ratings, starting with Le Mans. 6 out of 10. Had nothing to do. Apart from a few saves here and there, he wasn't troubled at all. Now, in defence, Lenny Yoro, 4 out of 10. The reason I've given him a low rating is that I think he could have learned from the first goal. He didn't get tight enough onto Rodgers when he scored the first one, and exactly the same thing happened for the second goal. You think he'd have learned from his mistakes. Luke Shaw, 6 out of 10, was the old head in defence. Should have done more to control the young guys around him, but he played well. Aidan Heaven, I thought, was the best defender, 7 out of 10, and he's really growing and maturing with each game. The confidence level is very high, and he was even strolling out of defence with the ball. A couple of times he misplaced his passes, but that's confidence for you. And then we have Dalot, who was booked, 6 out of 10. The long throw specialist these days. But nothing came from any of those throws that he put in there. Dorgu, 7 out of 10. Probably had one of his better games for United. He performed well. His distribution was a lot better than it was before. It was just that there was nobody there to finish off. Ugarte, 5 out of 10, came in for Casemiro and probably came in to replace Mainu as well. Got booked, usual booking. Really, not sure about Ugarte. I keep saying this. To me, he just doesn't look like a Man United player, and he looks so nervous when he's on the ball. I don't know what's going to happen there. Kuna was my man of the match, 8 out of 10. So many chances and so many efforts on goal. That header that he missed when it was 2-1 would have brought us back into the game. But there's more goals to come. You know, he scored just before half-time with a great strike, but we need more from him. Mason Mount, I've given him 7 out of 10. And again, I think he's going to come into his own now that Bruno's going to be out with this injury. So let's see more from him. As regards Bruno, 6 out of 10. Had to come off at half-time with the injury. Let's hope he's not out for too long. And he looked as surprised as anybody when he felt something at the back of his leg, because he doesn't get injured that much. Sesko, 4 out of 10. No, I don't. This confidence isn't there. Like against Spurs, he was through a couple of times on Villa, but nothing came of it. I don't know. Is it confidence? I don't know what it is. I hope that he's not going to go the same way as Rasmus Højlund went. Let's hope not. Let's hope he can get onto the score sheet very quickly. Against Newcastle would be great. Now, as regards to substitutes, Martinez came on, had a great game in midfield, 7 out of 10. Very impressed. And then we had the young boys. Fletcher was first 5 out of 10, then Lacey, 4 out of 10. And we had also Xerxes come on, who didn't really offer anything, 4 out of 10. And it was great to see the academy players get a chance to shine, if you like. It must have been a difficult match, but they performed admirably. They did their job in the few minutes that they were on. So that's it. Another defeat, unfortunately, from a game that we should have won, or at least come away with 1 point. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think we were the better team? Do you think that we didn't deserve to lose? Please leave your comments, as always, and continue to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.